Awesome. And while Sunny is just pulling that up, I just wanted to say thank you. 1 Million Cups Iowa City has been my home since I started my entrepreneurial journey. So it's really exciting to be sharing this refill and update. We presented about the agenda period before, and so much has happened. And a large part of that is thanks into great community and support from people like this group. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. My name is Alex Kobel-Frakes, and I am the CEO of the Agenda Period. So I'm going to really dive in and talk to you guys a little bit about what we're up to. Early in my career, it became obvious that my desire to do certain tasks varied based on where I was at in my menstrual cycle. And detailed observation revealed that sales calls that happened when I was ovulating had higher conversion rates. I was shocked when I found that out. Cycle syncing, or adapting your diet, exercise, and work engagements to best match the different phases of your monthly cycle, is a superpower that every woman needs access to. That is why we launched the Agenda Period, a planning system and soon-to-be app that educates women around their cycle so they can use that information to increase their productivity and impact. So we begin by teaching women about the 4 phases of their cycle and how to utilize the gifts of each of these phases for their business. Due to the natural hormonal shifts, women can expect different energy levels, motivation, and extroversion in each phase of their cycle. The menstrual phase is great for planning and brainstorming. The follicular phase is perfect for networking and new projects. The ovulation phase is ideal for sales and meetings, and the luteal phase is fantastic for analyzing and organizing. Of course, each woman is different, but we had created a baseline for them to start with. Women are currently pushing themselves to fit their tasks into a 24-hour daily rhythm when they are naturally on a 28-day cycle. This can lead to them feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and burnt out, and it also means they have to do more work for the same results. So we help women learn about the 4 phases so they can begin to use these phase superpowers to their advantage. And when they're able to do that, the time they save, they can spend it doing things they really enjoy to do, and their businesses and families flourish. So what we're creating in our app is truly a mix of period planning and productivity. Our users will be supported in the following ways. We'll help them with the education piece. They'll have a calendar with a 4-phase overview to show what phase they are in each day, as well as to help them connect the dots between their phases and how they feel. We help them with the organization, structure, and reducing overwhelm through task creation, easily setting up the tasks they're going to work on that day so they can pick from their to-do list or add new tasks that are aligned with their current phase. And we help them take control of their busy schedules. We have Google Calendar integration so they can move their cycle knowledge into an easy-to-see format with the rest of their tasks and appointments, which aids in decision-making and the planning process. We will also include other calendar integrations with Time like Outlook and iCal. In 2019, we started out by creating a physical planner to prove out the concept of the Agenda Period. And this created a testing ground for us and provided immediate results and value to our customers. From October until now, we have sold over 300 units of our initial MVP. With the information that we've gathered, we are moving into the digital realm. This will allow us to scale our business much more efficiently and meet the demand for an electronic version in the digital age. We'll be using a subscription-based model for our application that once created will have fewer costs associated with maintaining. So a little bit about how we're going to bring this to fruition. Sunny and I are health coaches, and we have an access to a network of thousands of other coaches. Here I am in this picture actually at an event with over 800 newly trained coaches. Coaches have more knowledge about their cycles, and they have been quick to adopt our MVP. We intend to leverage these connections in addition to targeted Facebook ads to acquire our initial app users. Working with this group will allow us to improve and iterate upon our MVP before moving on to our next segments. So not only is this group the ideal place to start, but we are also facing interesting global opportunities that prime users for additional ways to consider their productivity. We're going to really be able to support people as they make the transition through the remainder of the pandemic. We project that by targeting health coaches, we'll be able to capture 10% of the market. There are 100,000 health coaches in 2021, and our gross revenue will be $400,000. In 22, we'll target our second customer segment, small business owners. This segment contains 13 million women. And by 2023, we project that we'll be scaling quickly, and we'll begin targeting professional women. There are 151 million of them. With a strong proof of concept, we can become one of the key players in the period tracking and business productivity market. We are the right people to lead this charge. Our team has coached thousands of women and understand how to help our clients uncover the root of their challenges and make changes. And these skills are baked into every level of the services that we offer to our customers. Over the last year, through mentor support, agile methodology, customer feedback, and the Educational Tech Accelerator, we have gotten to a place where we are working on our app, and we have a launch date of mid-September. We're excited about what these next steps mean for our customers. After completion and scaling of the app, we are looking towards the future. We'll be able to support women in menstrual education in the following avenues. We're going to be helping to create an updated K-12 cycle education curriculum, creating corporate training for cycle-empowered workplaces, and working with other organizations to help make global menstrual equity a reality. We invite you to follow us on social media, go to our website to purchase your own agenda, or connect us with someone who would love our products. Join us as we help millions of women around the world leverage their cycle as their superpower. Thank you.
Excellent. Any questions?
So are you planning on having a loss leader part of this that people can download for free and then open up the monthly cost, or 100% have to buy up front?
We'll have a trial period, so probably 30 days that they can use for free. And we also have other loss leaders on our website that will continue to be available. We have sample calendars of both our original calendar as well as the moon cycle calendar. So that's for women who may no longer have their own period for whatever reason. And so we've got some of those things that will be available as well, so people can kind of dip a toe in.
When do you think you'll have your app completed or start the beta testing for that?
The beta testing should start in mid-June, and the goal is to have the MVP out in September.
And is the calendar integration already happening, or is that something that is coming soon?
That'll be something that will be included when the app is launched in September.
Got it. Thanks.
Yep.
Hi there.
Hi.
So what was the one thing that you kept hearing when you were talking to potential customers? Was there anything that was kept coming up again and again?
Yeah, the thing that kept coming up, which is what even took us down the path of making the app, was that women were in control of so many different components and pieces. They had their own schedules. A lot of times they were tracking their husband's schedules or children's schedules. It was why they liked paper products, but also needed a digital component, because they are tracking so many different items and wanted those reminders. And so that's really what ultimately pushed us to go into this combined strategy of paper as well as digital. So that was the thing we heard over and over again.
Sure. And what did you hear from them when, I'm sure that many, if not all of them, had access to calendars? Why did you decide that an app was the best way to deal with that?
Because there are a lot of period tracking apps right now, and there are a lot of calendars, but there's nothing that's really combining these two things and giving them the full picture. So they love the framework of what we're teaching with the agenda period, and they wanted a way to combine that into one place. And so that's why we decided to go with an application. Additionally, when we talk to younger users who will be coming up and will continue to fill our funnel, they're really excited about things on their phone, taking it with them. And so that kind of, the combine of those two things is what had us lead in that direction and doing a native app rather than any other approach.
Sure. And finally, what remains your biggest challenge so far for your business?
I think everything takes longer than I want it to take. So just, figuring out the campaigns, the marketing. We have a marketing team in place now. We're working with a developer, and things just take time to actually build out and create. And then we've got some interesting new components to the world right now with everything that's been going on with the coronavirus. So I'm just a person who likes to move very quickly. And so I can see this huge vision. And so I think that's probably the biggest challenge. Things move slower than I would love them to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Alex. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the scientific underpinnings of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So there has been significant research showing the way that women have different kind of interactions with themselves throughout the month. And this has to do with those hormones that are at play. So the hormones are actually chemical messengers to the brain. And unlike with men, it's typically a major hormone. Testosterone is the major player. Women go through these 5 or 6 different major hormones that are going on. And so they just interact differently with the brain. So these hormones can lend themselves well to different skill sets. So there is our own research that we've done with our users. There are different apps that are out there right now talking about how elite athletes can use this information for their training. And so we're kind of taking all that's been done and applying it to the workforce. So for example, in 2019, the U.S. Women's World Soccer team won the World Cup. And one of the reasons they noted that they won the World Cup was using cycle syncing for their training. That it really gave them the edge because there are different hormones that are better for muscle recovery than other times in the month. So doing HIIT training, for example, when estrogen is dominant, leads to better muscle reparations than in any other time of the cycle. And so there's a ton out there, and we're excited to kind of be bringing it into the workforce.
Alex, I think the women's soccer example would be a really strong thing to include in your presentation. Picking up on what David said, I feel like what's missing here, and this is a very nice presentation, is some sort of numerical element of, what was the increase in productivity by using this methodology in some way that you can quantify. And I think also crucially important for you to make it clear that you know who the competitors are, what's their positioning. There are a lot of period tracking apps. I'm not sure who's got like majority market share, but I know my 2 teenage daughters use them. And what is their price model and what is their point of differentiation? It seems to me that what's making you stand out from all of those is you're focused on business productivity, right? So I think you can't hammer that enough. If you're the period tracker of business productivity, then this whole presentation should just sing that. And superpower. I liked in the end you had a line that said, I think it said, helping women leverage their cycle as their superpower. So that might be a good theme to start with and keep talking about, because I feel like that's your tagline essentially. But you're going after a specific, not all women, but women who want to find another edge to help them be more productive.
Yep.
Rather than just, why am I feeling this way and my life overall, but what should I schedule for myself so that I'll be the most successful today? Is that essentially the?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jean, you did a great job of like the high achievers, the success seekers, and yeah, you're going to want to definitely have some more specific, maybe a little bit about the science like Greg was asking about. Just something that really shows the value. If it's like a 1% improvement or like a 10%, like what is the significant value that you're delivering for people if you can, measure that in some capacity.
So I haven't seen any type of data on that just yet because people aren't doing this. So that's part of the reason we're building it into the app. We can take what we've heard from our current customers. We've even had different people say how many hours they've saved per week.
Mm-hmm.
We've had someone say they save 3 hours per week every single week. That's a lot of extra hours that add up. Part of the problem is we're really, and where we see ourselves fitting into the market is there is this huge gap because people don't know about this. So We're starting to see it with the elite athletes. They're kind of the first ones who have been adopting this. But a lot of those numbers aren't out there yet, which is one of the things we're really excited about, to be able to compile through the app and really building that data set in there from the very beginning.
Well, and that's another value proposition that you can leverage later on with your marketing, right? Once you're like the forefront of this, right? No one else is doing this. So as long as you can stay ahead and be accurate, that information will be very valuable.
I think that's the other reason we ended up not putting the value. We have a competitive analysis, but all the period tracking apps that are out there are helping you track your period,
Right.
which sounds very obvious, right? But they're like, when does your period start and when does your period stop? And it may talk about ovulation, when you may be fertile.
Right.
But when it shows all these other pieces, they had no, like all of our boxes of what we offer, no one is doing that. So the chart seemed really kind of silly. So
Right.
we got the advice from other mentors to leave it off because it doesn't seem like you don't want someone to say, oh, we have no competition, but the apps are not doing that.
Right. So yes. Yeah. So when we were talking about how your thing is different than the competition, you mentioned them. So I think, addressing your competition, but your added value is so much more significant to the target market that you're going after, right?
Yeah.
So that's like an assumed functionality in a way, but what you're really providing is the value of the productivity of being more successful when it works with your target market.
Perfect. Yep. Thank you.
So I know you started off your presentation. Thank you so much for the love for 1 Million Cups Iowa City, and we've been happy to have you as part of our community for the last how long has it been? About a month, a year and a half, something like that.
2 years almost.
So yeah, kind of as part of your journey, as you've come into the entrepreneurial ecosystem, what have been the most defining moments in helping you to move forward and build your business?
Entrepreneurship is hard. Like, it's really hard when you're trying to put all these pieces together and trying to figure out, you're like, I know we've got something here, but how do we actually bring it out to the marketplace, or how do we test this? So I think it's been a defining moment to have a community around that's like, yeah, it is hard, but you're tougher. You can do this. It's okay. Here's a resource here. Talk to this person. Like, grab coffee with this person. They can help you really think that through. And so I really believe that entrepreneurship is a team sport. Like, even if we're living in our own businesses, we really need the support of other people. So that has been so defining for me, is having other people I could check in with and count on, because it's lonely in your basement office sometimes.
Definitely.
So it's definitely been a defining moment, and just having a lot of strong mentors in this community has been really imperative to the success of what we're doing.
Thanks.
So if you're not plugged in yet, or this is your first 1 Million Cups, keep coming, because there's a ton of value from the people who come to this thing. There's some big smarties here, so definitely keep coming.
Are there any other questions before I ask my final question? Maybe not. I'm not hearing any, so I will ask my traditional final question. What can we as the community do to help you?
Everyone's been great about sharing, so keep sharing if you know someone who'd be interested. Like we mentioned, we've got a product that's available for purchase now, so that's always helpful as a startup, is having people try out your thing and use it. That would be awesome. We're going to be doing another Kickstarter campaign this summer just to get people excited about the app, so help us spread the word about that. And yeah, the support has just been really amazing. So I would say those are the things we're looking for now, are additional customers and feedback. So any support in that realm would be fantastic.
Very nice. And the slide that's up right now, is that the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes.
Excellent. Yep. Everyone take a screenshot if you need to, but otherwise, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Sunny. I know Sunny was running the slides during this. Great presentation. It was great to have you back here at 1 Million Cups Iowa City. So thank you so much.